Morning.
Morning.
Harvest the bounties in your own soul garden, that space that is both wild and tender. It is ever changing and likely to surprise you. For many of us, when we hear the word mystic, we think of monks praying in the desert, great prophets with millions of followers, or at least someone who has spent hours every day and night praying. Mirabai Starr says in her book, Ordinary Mysticism, that all it means to be a mystic is to have a direct experience of the sacred. A mystic is someone who skips over the mediocrities and goes straight to the divine. She further writes that everyday mystics seek the sacred in their lives. Every one of us who made the effort to attend today or to listen to the recording later came seeking something sacred. So it's safe to say we're all mystics, everyday mystics. When we decide to travel the path to find the sacred, the mundane in our lives show up as miracles. The boring becomes fascinating, and our shortcomings turn into our greatest gifts. We don't have to enter a monastery to be a mystic. We don't have to give up chocolate or avoid pleasures. We don't have to take formal vows or beat ourselves up when we make a mistake. Being a mystic today is about intention. It's about orienting ourselves towards the sacred. It's about altering our perspective and looking through the lens of love and curiosity. When we say yes to creating our intention to love, the ordinary world becomes brighter. Our lives become beautiful. Moments of meaning come to us through the universe, revealing the fact that every day is holy. Peter Mayer has a song called Everything is Holy Now. He speaks of the miracles from the Bible that he learned as a child and feeling sad because miracles didn't happen anymore, but now realizing that everything is a miracle, and the challenge is finding where there aren't miracles. He speaks of once seeing the earth as heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but realizing he's walking through reverent air because everything is holy now. A change in perspective can change our mindset so we don't miss the miracles happening every day, every moment. How do we find the sacred in our everyday lives? Mirabai Starr says you start right where you are, in the messiness of our lives. Our beautiful, perfectly imperfect lives. We can choose to see the sacred in the face of our boss, in our neighbor, in chopping vegetables, in feeding the dog. If we look hard enough, we can find the sacred in the mess, even in grief. If we decide we want to see it, if we mean it and open up our hearts and do what we can to keep them open, we will see it. We can find the sacred in the reality of this very moment. I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze and think of someone you love. Notice the feeling that's building up in your body. Maybe it's a warm, tingly feeling. That is the sacred. While retreats and seminars help us grow, when we show up for reality, reality rewards us by revealing its hidden holiness, its ordinary wonder, its fruitful shadows, and the awe. Mirabai speaks that it takes effort to find gold in what we once discounted. But it gets easier as our wonder muscles grow and robust and our capacity for appreciation expands. So where can we find the sacred? First are our mini cathedrals. We can build sacred places in our home, here at church, outdoors. We can create little altars with things we find holy, pictures of our ancestors, pine cones, your grandmother's rosary, or my favorite, rocks from special places I want to remember. We can add candles, feathers, a bowl of water, a bowl of earth to honor the elements. To add variety, we can rotate the items monthly or by the season. As a mystic, you are allowed to build your own sacred spaces, even if that space is an ever-rotating cluster of objects that make you feel like you can breathe again. In a world where breathing is hard, where breathing and pausing is frowned upon, remember, everything and anything can be an altar. Art. Any kind of art can be sacred, even if it's not considered sacred art. Music, poetry, pieces of art can all bring a sense of the sacred when we admire it, collect it, or create it. Think of a time when a form of art spoke to you. You may not be able to say what it said or why, but it touched you in a way that you needed to be touched. Rituals. We can create rituals to support and bless any event in our lives. We can make any occasion holy with poetry, readings, prayers, and action. Ordinary life experiences become transcendent when we offer them our silence, our laughter, our honest feelings, or our words. I have a simple ritual of leaving a peanut for the critters in the woods where I meditate. It's my way of saying thank you to them for letting me be in their home where I find the sacred. Loving awareness. Loving awareness is pouring your attention into the present moment, noting its sensory data, its contours and shadows. It's taking note physically and mentally. It's being present, softening your focus so that you can see the sky behind the passing cloud. It's being willing to see things as they are, as you are. It's a mystical gaze. Ram Dass points out that it's not just a matter of being aware, it's about love. Connecting to the sacred in this way doesn't rescue us from human pains, but it does plant us in the ground of what is and expands our capacity to be present. When we are able to perceive the world through loving awareness, we see it at its best, overflowing with grace, sometimes broken grace, but real and beautiful. Silence and stillness. To help us find the sacred, it helps to intentionally carve out space for silence and stillness. Unplug the TV, take a walk, stop, watch a bird pick up food. Solitude peels away the distraction and invites us to meet the present moment naked. External quiet helps quiet the mind, and a quiet mind is more likely to encounter the sacred. Relationships. When we are open to experiencing the love of another person, to give of ourselves with the intention of becoming closer, we can find the sacred. Whether the relationship is with a child, a relative, a friend, a coworker, or a lover, the experience of two souls touching can spark a sense of the sacred. Showing up. Mirabai speaks of the word kanava. It's the marriage of purpose and receptivity. Receptivity is the surprise that can happen if we allow it. I show up and the divine stands before me. That presence can take many surprising forms, things we were not expecting. My intentions, saying the words, and doing my actions may not change reality, but it infuses those moments with beauty and wonderment. Yes, the sacred could come by and tap you on the shoulder, but chances are it's more likely to show up when we take the time to find it. We intentionally focus on with curiosity and wonder. Now, where do you find the sacred? I invite all of you to share where you have found the sacred. The ushers have microphones you can use, or you can call it out loud enough for me to repeat it. I invite Zoom folks to write their answers in chat, and Anne will share them. So who'd like to get us started?
Music.
At the beach, music.
In the flowers I grow.
In the flowers I grow. In the redwoods.
In the night stars.
In the night stars. In the ocean. Sedona, Arizona. Newborn babies
In Doug's offertory.
in Doug's offertory. Singing happy birthday. Was that Star Trek I heard?
Do I dare say out loud orgasms?
Orgasms. Okay.
While walking in the woods? While walking in the woods?
Walking in the woods. Being with my cat. At home. Storytelling. Geocaching. What was that? Brighton Bush. Conversation with friends. Mount Hood. Baking? Oh, I got to come to your house. Full moon.
Laughter of grandchildren.
And being with my children.
Listening to the wind going through the fir trees.
Wind blowing through the fir trees, yes. Watching a garden grow. Pets. Listening to birds. And what have we got in Zoom?
I am here. We have lots of entries in Zoom. Jill mentioned the ocean, Jasmine dancing, Kathleen the lake, John Hunt in my garden. I mentioned watching a sunset at the ocean at Yachats. Lori mentioned fireflies. John Hunt again said bird songs. And he added monkey in the middle with granddaughters. And everything is Zen. It's all from John. Colleen Curtis says streams, the moving water. Rebecca, quiet family time. And I might add all the things that everyone said. There were such good answers in the sanctuary. Thank you, Kim, for your sermon and for this exercise. Back to you.
Thank you, everyone. In summary, all we have to do to travel the path of the everyday mystic is to cultivate a gaze of wonder and proceed on the road. Keep traveling, rest and move on, fall down, get up, and travel on. Pay attention to the landscape. Be alert to surprises and to the turns of the season. Say yes to what is, even if it's uncomfortable or embarrassing or heartbreaking. Claim your title as an everyday mystic. Amen and blessed be.